I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome back to the best leadership podcast ever, where every week we take a look at your daily behaviors from a different perspective so we can help you catapult your career. My name's Jeff Matlow. I'm a recovering entrepreneur and a leadership coach for executives and teams from Fortune 500s to growth stage entrepreneurial companies. Last week, I talked about the difference between a group and a team. This week, I want to talk about the 4 types of team conflict and which ones matter the most. And it starts with my marriage, my first marriage. You see, I was married once before. And if there's one thing my ex and I were really good at, it was vacationing. We killed at vacationing. We were awesome at it. We met on vacation. We courted each other through vacations. We got engaged on vacation. And we were married on vacation. Heck, we even had 3 different honeymoons so we could go on vacation more. I'm telling you, we were great on vacation. Because everything is good when you're on vacation. Vacation means fun. It means relaxation and freedom from any worries. It also means little conflict. Unfortunately, though, a strong marriage isn't built on a vacation foundation. Marriage is about being a team. And an important part of being a team is being able to effectively resolve conflicts. But in our everyday lives as a couple, my ex and I, we were really good at creating conflict, but we completely sucked at resolving it. Eventually, we hoarded so much unresolved conflict that there wasn't any space left in our home to find the good in each other. An unresolved conflict broke up our team. Turns out that's a common problem. If you listen to last week's podcast about the difference between a group and a team, you'll understand that if you have any desire to be productive in your life, you'll follow those 7 requirements of a team. In my role as an executive coach, I work with a lot of leaders who believe they have high-functioning teams. Some of them are right. Most of them are wrong. That's kind of why I get hired. The truth is that many teams aren't good at effectively resolving conflict. Without conflict resolution, you don't have a highly functioning team or a highly functioning marriage. As it turns out, there are 4 types of conflicts that impact team performance. So not all conflict is bad. In fact, some conflict is an important part of the development of a strong team dynamic. Conflict is actually what proves the value of a team. Because if there never were any conflict, there kind of wouldn't be a need for a team to resolve it. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let me tell you the 4 types of team conflict. There's relationship conflict, task conflict, process conflict, and status conflict. So how about we dive in and understand each one? That seems like that would make sense now, right? Let's start with relationship conflict. The truth is, you're not going to like everybody all the time. That's just part of life. It's also part of family reunions, but that's a different bowl of cranberry sauce. Relationship conflict is what happens when somebody's dislike of another gets in the way of effective group communication. This dislike can turn an otherwise productive team into a royal pain in the tuchus. For example, Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr were once on a team together. They didn't like each other. That caused a bunch of relationship conflict. Now, I'm not saying your team's conflict will result in a deadly duel on the banks of the Hudson River, but I'm not saying it won't. If you can't quickly resolve relationship conflict, you won't have a highly functioning team, and that's a fact. The next type of conflict is task conflict. A task conflict is a disagreement on how to accomplish a project or achieve the overall goals of the project. For instance, let's say a marketing team needs to create an ad campaign. One team member may feel really strongly that the ads should focus on the features of the product, while somebody else may believe that it should be about the emotional connection with the end users. That's task conflict. This type of conflict is actually a good thing for a team because it opens up the healthy exploration of how to best accomplish the goals. And this is also why a diverse team is even more beneficial because it brings diverse ideas and diverse solutions to the problem. And when managed effectively, Task conflicts highlight the strength of collaborative thinking and leads to better outcomes than individual thinking. The third type is process conflict. Where task conflicts are about the goal of the project, process conflicts are about the method in which the project should be completed. Let me give you an example. Let's say a software developer, a researcher, product manager, and a salesperson are discussing the development of a new feature. The researcher may insist on first doing focus groups to get data before anything's developed. On the other hand, the salesperson may want to just start developing the initial iteration right away and then get feedback on how it can be used. That's process conflict. And like with task conflicts, high-functioning teams are designed to effectively resolve process conflicts. The conflict resolution process itself is the purpose of the team. And this leads us to the final type of team conflict, status conflict. Status conflict happens when people are frustrated by their perceived rank in the social hierarchy of the team. In other words, when an ego gets in the way, everything goes to hell. Status conflict is the basis for the saying, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. The most effective teams don't get bogged down by ego. They recognize the value each person brings, and in the team, each person respects every other team member. Few things can destroy a team as quickly as status conflicts. So check your ego at the ego check stand. It's free. It'll be there when the meeting's done. Listen, if there's one thing I learned from my marriage, it's that you can't build a strong relationship on vacations alone. Sure, everything seems perfect on vacation, but in real life, teams thrive on resolving conflict. Conflict-free moments are nice, but they aren't the foundation of a team's success. You don't become a great team by avoiding the tough conversations. You become one by having them. So let's all learn a little lesson from my first marriage. Learning to conquer conflict isn't a skill to avoid, it's the entire purpose of the team. How's your team doing with conflict resolution? Let me know. If you want some advice on how to make a stronger team, reach out to me at bytitleonly.com. I help growth stage to Fortune 500 companies 10x their team's productivity. Thank you for listening to this. If you like it, please give us 5 stars, leave a review, share it with a friend. It all helps a ton. I appreciate you. Can't wait to talk to you next week. See you soon.